Hey guys, welcome back to Codeborn, sponsored by viewers like you through our fan funding. Today's episode is a viewer question submitted via email. Hi Dustin, I really like your channel and the way you explain things, and I was hoping you would answer a question for me. I recently encountered the generic tuple type, and I wanted to know what it is and what you can do with it. This is a great question because tuples are not something that you see in your everyday C# code, and they look really weird. Basically, a tuple is a data structure that has some number of elements within it. Now you can think of this as just a regular class with some properties that you would normally build out to hold some kind of data. But you don't have to create this class yourself, and it already exists with many variations of it ready for use. Now what I mean by variations is that you can specify how many elements the tuple has. So for example, you can instantiate a tuple that has 3 elements, or one that has 8 elements, or however many elements you might need. Each of these elements can be accessed by referencing one of its corresponding properties on the tuple's instance. These properties will be named sequentially, that is, the word item followed by a number. So for example, a tuple with 3 elements will have 3 properties: item 1, item 2, and item 3. Now, each element can be of any type. You specify what the types are in the generic type identifiers. So if we wanted, we could have a tuple with 3 elements, the first being an integer, the second being a string, and the third being a list of double. Now, that's all there is to it, really. So now the only question is, what do you do with them? I'm sure you can find many other uses for them, but let's go over a few common ones. First, they can simply be used as short-term container of data. Since they're not anonymous types, they can be passed around from method to method. But you don't have to take the time to build out a custom POCO just for this purpose. So it's pretty convenient to have them. Now another common use is to give a method the ability to return multiple values. Now you can do this with a custom class, but you'd have to create one and then maintain it. Now you might be thinking, why not just use out parameters? Well, a simple answer is that not all methods let you use out parameters. For example, async methods. They don't allow out nor reference parameters. So a tuple is a great workaround for this problem. Now one use for tuples that I use all the time is to create compound keys to use as an index for in-memory caches. For example, using a tuple as a key for a dictionary. While this is possible with a custom class, you'd have to do a bunch of work up front to get it working correctly. Creating 2 instances of a class with the exact same data does not mean they will be equal out of the box. But with 2 instances of a tuple containing the exact same data, they will always be equal. Now one thing to keep in mind with tuples is that once you create a tuple, you cannot change the value of the elements. Tuples are immutable. So that's really all there is to it. Tuples are not that difficult to understand or even use. They just have a funny name, and most developers don't like them because the property names are meaningless, but there are still really good uses for them. So go ahead and give them a try and see what happens. Okay, that's it for this episode. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, and if you like this episode, click that like button or show your support through our fan funding. Thanks for watching.